Hello, everybody. This is Carol Maletta. Welcome to the Parenting 411 podcast, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. Welcome to a special episode in our series where we're going to dive into the stories of remarkable women making significant impacts in the lives of young girls and women. Today, I am thrilled to introduce three extraordinary ladies from I Believe in Me, an inspiring platform dedicated to building confidence in tween girls through unique and empowering programs. So first, meet Katie Parker, the president and CEO of Bloomfully LLC and the driving force behind initiatives like Singers Company, Bloomfully, and Tavi's Fairy Festival. A wife as well as a mother of six, Katie embodies a lifestyle of family, faith, and flourishing businesses. Her passion lies in helping girls and women rise above criticism and self-doubt, fostering a belief in their unique gifts and potential. And she envisions a world where girls are empowered to bloom wherever they are. Next, we have Becky Fife, a powerhouse in motherhood and women's empowerment, and a mother to 7 children, honored as Nevada's Mother of the Year in 2015. Becky's life journey reflects her deep commitment to nurturing confidence in young girls and supporting mothers across America. We have that in common. She is the co-founder of I Believe in Me and Bloomfully. Becky's background in exercise physiology and experience as a fitness trainer, professional dancer, and choreographer infuse her work with a unique blend of energy and expertise. And I'd like to introduce the third member. She's not able to be with us today, but her name is Allie Callister. She's a co-creator and content developer for I Believe in Me. And she draws from her degree in marriage, family, and human development. And she's dedicated years to teaching young girls about faith, family, and values. And as the owner of a successful beauty and eyelash extension business, she's passionate about boosting the confidence of women of all ages. She has 4 children, and they bring her a great deal of joy, and she brings a fun-loving spirit to everything that she does, whether it's joining a dance party or soaking up the sun by the beach. So we wish her well. She wasn't able to join us today, but I wanted to let you know about her because she's an important part of the team. And I want you today to join us as we explore the vision and impact of these 3 inspiring women who are nurturing a generation of confident, strong, and empowered girls. So let's dive in. Welcome, Becky and Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's talk about how you got started. How did you all come together to create I Believe in Me? And just what inspired you to focus on boosting the confidence of tween girls in particular?
Well, it started with the first company that I began, which Becky was a director in. It's called Singers Company. And the focus is the same, but for elementary age. Mm-hmm. So, and we use different tools. We use singing and dancing and performing to instill that confidence and set that foundation of strength in these young girls. So that's the mission there. But what's happened is these girls have grown up and parents trust that brand and the experience that they had with Singers Company. And they kept asking, what about the tween years? This is when this is the critical moment where they want to be an adult and make their own decisions, but then they're also very much not, an adult. This is their first step. And in my heart, I knew, yes, I want to do something for them, but it didn't come to my mind. The inspiration hadn't come yet. And I just felt like I really wanted to partner with Becky and Allie. Allie is not here today, but her energy is so fun and so fun loving. And she brings such sunshine to it. And Becky has extensive knowledge of children. Obviously, she has 7 of her own. They've ranging from young adults now to grade school still. Same with me. And she's worked with so many youth groups, especially girls. And I knew I wanted her. So I approached her and said, hey, we need to create this new program. And I want to call it I Believe in Me, because that's where girls have to love themselves and know that they have worth before they even move on to building on that and sharing it with the world. And so she immediately was like, yes. And then from there, it was just ideas upon each other. And that's how we created I Believe in Me. And the purpose is the same as Singers Company, but specifically for that 10 to 13-year-old. And it's a different format. It's not singing and dancing, but we call it life mentoring, which is singing and dancing through life. How do you keep the happy? How do you cultivate happiness in your everyday? And that brings confidence, loving who you are, loving what you offer the world. So that's I Believe in Me. And that's how we came together.
I like that. And it's just so important to cultivate that kind of confidence and sense of self-esteem and just self-awareness at an early age. It's just so important.
It sets the foundation for life. And that, I think, our biggest message for any age, but especially our focus of I Believe in Me, is these girls have unique talents and gifts. And those talents and gifts, the world needs them. The world needs each one of them. And to feel needed, that you have something to offer and share, that is true confidence. And then practicing sharing that. And even in the ups and downs of life, to continue to believe in yourself and grow those talents. That's what this is. That's where we believe true confidence and strength comes from.
Right. And, not only is it about individual self-confidence and self-esteem, but I think you also, by starting at that young age, are promoting a sense of sisterhood too, like valuing each other and supporting each other, that I think is so important. So,
yes, 100%.
Yes. And so, Becky, I'd love to hear a little bit about how you infuse the energy, how you bring your knowledge, in physiology and all of that. How do you bring that to the program?
Okay. So when you talk about sisterhood, I know you just mentioned sisterhood. I definitely feel like I'm in a company with sisterhood. Like, we love and we support girls of all ages. And my background with my education and my experience as a personal trainer, I worked with women who physically wanted to change and set goals. And so I was in this world of helping keep people motivated to change, and to not only physically change, but also emotionally, and I think spiritually change, because there's a lot that goes into when you're trying to get into shape, right? Or when you're setting goals and maybe you're discouraged and maybe you're feeling like you're failing, or so there's a lot of mindset that goes on when we're trying to accomplish anything. And I feel like that translates so easily to I Believe in Me, because we're trying to help these girls realize who they are and find their worth, not just physically. In fact, not at all physically. Their worth comes from who they are and the talents and gifts that they possess, and that there's happiness in working hard, whether it be working hard to be healthy, working hard in school, working hard when your friendship groups, trying not to be, a gossiper, and trying to be a good member of your family, a good member of your school class, like whatever it might be. There's a power that I love helping people realize that comes with the right mindset and hard work. And whatever the goal might be, we want to help these girls realize that there is a sisterhood here, but there's the diversity makes us beautiful. But when we have the same goal in mind, which I feel like with Katie and Allie, we are one in the same in our mission to help inspire women and girls and build that confidence. So the synergy that exists there, I think we could all relate to when you have the same goal and you can stand on each other's shoulders, not competing, because everyone's going to have their different talents and gifts, but to complement each other. And there's so much more that you can accomplish when you work together. And when you realize, hey, we're different. We're supposed to be different. We have all different talents. Katie is such a go-getter. This girl is like, her ideas and her drive and I think what I love about Katie so much is that just the goodness of the vision of what she really wants to do is so pure in helping these girls. And she works hard to make that happen. And Allie's just like the sunshine, sprinkles the happiness and the go get them on top of all of that. And so to get together with all of this, creating this content and reaching out to these girls, we're able to work together well and find the different niches and the different needs of so many different kinds of girls, and help them realize that, look, we're all different and you're different too, but together we can accomplish great things.
Mm-hmm. And so at any given time, how many girls are in the program?
We've helped hundreds of girls so far, and a lot of them come from Singers Company because they grow up and they go right into I Believe in Me. But then we're trying to right now to get the word out to let people know we're here. So
Mm-hmm.
just by talking to different platforms and different people who are in this space of trying to strengthen families and parents and give parents the tools they need to strengthen their children. And so we anticipate hundreds more, if not thousands. So we're really excited, and it's working. That's what feels so good, is the feedback and the results are happy girls who know who they are, who celebrate the sisterhood among women and girls, and really try to work hard in their little sphere of life, in their little garden of life, with the intent to share and bring happiness and sunshine to others, to the world, not just saving it for themselves, not a selfish mindset of, I want this for me, but I can be better because I can help someone else with my talents and gifts. And that brings even more strength and need for each other.
Now, do they stay in for a year or a certain term, or how does it work?
It's as long as they want. The curriculum is they get a new episode every week for about a year. But we have ongoing sisterhood, little mini monthly how's it growing chats and Zoom calls where they can all come together and we talk about different topics. Last night we had one and it was our favorite things, December, like just get together, and everyone got to share kind of their traditions of Christmas and the holidays and what they do. And it's really sweet. They all realize, oh, we're all in the same boat. We're kind of around the same age range. We're dealing with the same things. We have these how's it growing topics about friendship. We have it about goal setting. We have it about going through rough patches. And we talk about the hard, but we always give them tool and happiness. So a girl, it's really at their own pace. So once you sign up for the program, you can have it be what you need it to be for you. But the curriculum is released as you progress and at the pace that you want to go. So we have girls that have been in it for 4 years, and we're only 4 years in and then we have girls obviously just signing on that have been through it for a year, but they're wonderful. These girls have such strength and the world needs them. And they're really, really, really starting to use the tools. And it's been really exciting.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
We'll be right back after this.
If you're looking to reach a massive audience of parents and caregivers, then look no further than Pro Picks by the Parenting 411, the ultimate marketing program designed to skyrocket your brand to new heights. With Pro Picks, we've created 3 incredible packages to suit your marketing needs and budget. So let's take a look. First up is our social starter package. You'll receive a stunning graphic promo piece, plus we'll also feature your brand on the Parenting 411 Instagram page. It's the perfect way to make a memorable first impression and get parents buzzing about your business. Now, if you're ready to level up, our Parenting Pro package is where it's at. You'll enjoy all the benefits of the social starter package, plus more awesome benefits, including exposure on the Parenting 411 podcast, which reaches parents in more than 22 countries each week. But wait, there's more. For those seeking the pinnacle of marketing power, our Elite Exposure package is the way to go. You'll get even more exposure across our platform, including thousands of followers and connections on LinkedIn. Get ready to dominate the airwaves and establish yourself as the go-to resource for families everywhere. Take advantage of Pro Picks by the Parenting 411 today and unlock unparalleled marketing opportunities for your business. But I should tell you that prices are set to increase on November 1st, so act now. Pro Picks by the Parenting 411 is your passport to the hearts and minds of parents. Visit ProPicksbyP411.com. Join us today and watch the magic happen.
And we're back with the Parenting 411.
Now, I know that your platform uses a lot of garden imagery when you're talking about growth and sharing. So how does that resonate with your audience, and how do you incorporate that into your curriculum?
Well, this is it right now. This is what we're really starting to talk about. I believe in me right now. So I love to garden. I love getting in the dirt. And as I had these parents coming to me from the younger course, Singers Company, I'm like, we need more. Can you please create something for this age? And as I was digging in my garden and planting, all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, everyone can agree that there's so many life parallels to growing things in the earth and what that offers. And as I started to think about it, it just started coming to my mind and heart. And I reached out to Becky, and together, Becky and I have written most of the episodes. Allie's kind of our special character that comes in and like helps with the energy. But, yeah. And so like we just started, the ideas were flowing. And so I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. So when a girl logs in, the purpose of this garden imagery is so that they can retain the knowledge of the tools that we give them, mm-hmm. and recall them very quickly, that they become habitual, that they mm-hmm. they can envision blooming, they can envision sunshine in your garden. We talk about the difference of the light and the dark, the shadows, the clouds that can come over your garden. It just, they experience all these emotions and feelings in real life, but when you mm-hmm. give them kind of a symbol or a visual, mm-hmm. it just sinks. Again, I'll use one right here. It roots down deep inside their hearts. And right. So it becomes that steady information that carries with them into adulthood. Like mm-hmm. this is not just, I believe in me for 10 to 13-year-olds. This is establishing, like you said in the beginning, that confidence and that knowledge of who they are and how to get where they want to go. Mm-hmm. That establishes it for the rest of their life. So when a girl logs in, our episodes are called Planting the Seeds. These are those amazing truths and just the help that all parents want their girls to hear. Mm-hmm. Those little nuggets of information of, so I'll give you an example. The first episode is called Who Are You? Mm-hmm. And we tell them right out of the garden gate that you are a girl with gifts to grow and share. And that is your pursuit in life. Like establishing the gifts that you want to grow. Like you might want to do this type of sport or this skill or talent. Then you go after it, work for it. You might already have those implanted in you, that those are just gifts, that natural talents that you already have, that you want to see how far you can take them and how you can share them. That establishes your garden of life. And you're constantly working and finding new gifts and talents. And in that work, that constant getting after it, we tell these girls, it's not as easy to get distracted by social media because you're working so hard in your garden. And when you're working and choosing to spend your time working in your garden of life with the intent to share those gifts, you don't have time to get messed up in the gossip. You don't have time to get messed up in substance abuse. You don't have time to get, so that garden imagery of getting to work, digging in that dirt, finding who you are, and how do you really grow that? And Becky mentioned it. It's with hard work. A garden is hard work. There's weeds popping out all over it. And we talk about those weeds, you need enough water. You need enough sunshine.
That's right.
What's the sunshine in your life? So that garden imagery, that is what I believe in me is all about, to help instill those tools in their brain and heart, plant those seeds deep where they can root down. And one of our favorite things, I'll share one more example. We have so many examples of garden imagery. One of the first things we talk about that I'll let Becky elaborate on, because she's is something called routines are the roots. And so you talk about building a steady foundation of strength and self-confidence. Mm-hmm. Routines are the root is one of our key mantras and subjects that we tackle, and I believe in me, over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it really occurs to me that you're really teaching them about living with intention really early on. And that can sound kind of rigid and boring for kids because, a lot of parents feel like, well, this is their time of life. They should have fun. They shouldn't have any cares or anything like that. But it's really about helping them to recognize that life isn't just happening to them. They're living life. And that, they have, and it's putting them in touch with their goals and their interests, and then really helping them to build the life within the extent that they can very early on. start shaping their life and start recognizing what they value. And like, because, you talked about the social media and things like that. They're really, by them getting in touch with themselves and their goals and what makes them feel good, what makes them not feel good, they can decide how much technology is going to come into their life.
Yes.
And
you are speaking our language.
Yes, we have an episode just about that, Carol. Seriously, because and I feel like it's really important to teach them at this stage in their life, because it's going to take practice.
Yes.
Take work. And the stakes only get bigger as they get older, right? So if we can teach, especially in that window, I'm sure parents can recognize that you can still influence a middle schooler. By the time they get to high school, they're kind of on their own. So instilling that kind of that self-regulation system and that internal compass is so important to us. We have something, and I believe in me, called a soil check, which is one of the very beginnings where we're teaching them to listen to their mind and their heart. We believe the soil, which we need nutrient-rich soil to grow a beautiful garden, to grow that beautiful flower or the tree or whatever it might be. To grow, you need soil. You can't survive in a rocky bed. You can't survive in sand. You need rich, nutrient-dense soil. And I believe in me, our soil is our mind and our heart. So we have tools that relate to mind tools, like mindset tools, and how you feel. So when we put those together, that is your soil. Your mind and your heart is your soil. And we give these girls 2 questions in any such situation, at school, socially, when they're online, whatever it might be. They can ask themselves 2 questions. Number 1, is this appropriate for me and my age and my garden, right? Because something that's appropriate for an 18-year-old is not the same as an 11-year-old. And the second question, does this make sense for me in my garden? So is this appropriate, and does this make sense? And we actually have had some girls share when they've used this tool. One of our cute girls, we won't name her name, but she was with friends watching a movie in a movie theater. And she started to feel, her heart started to feel icky, and her mind was like, this is not appropriate. Like, is this appropriate for my age? The answer was no. And how does this feel? The answer was, this doesn't feel great. And she had the confidence to lean over to her friend and tell her, you know what? I don't want to watch this movie. I'm going to go.
Wow.
That takes so much confidence.
And yes, I was going to say courage. Yes.
Courage. But it first started with her recognizing what her heart and her mind were telling her. So if they can listen to that inner compass, they can make better choices. And guess what happened? She started to get up to leave, and her friend wanted to come with. Her friend said, I want to come with you because I feel the same. So she became a leader at that moment. And guess what? Her confidence, again, just went through the roof. So what we're seeing is this cycle of, we can help these girls learn a tool. And then as they practice it, and as they're going through middle school, through high school, they will gain more confidence and reassurance that they know what they want. And they can trust that and, make their own happy, like be intentional on what goals they want to accomplish and how they want their life to be.
Yes. And they can recognize those things out there that will pull them the opposite way. And they can quickly differentiate, that's not what I want in my garden. I'm not going to let that in. Or I did let that in, and my heart's not feeling right. And my head's saying, this does not make sense for my age. This is not going to help me grow. So they do that soil check. That's one of our major garden tools that they can do. We tell these girls, you should be doing soil checks all day long, in friendship situations, with media situations, with family relationships, in school, with anything, like with the use of your own time management. You're doing a soil check. Wait, I've wasted too much time scrolling. And I really need to do better.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel icky. I wasted my time. I'm still behind in math, and I've got to get on that. I just need to tackle it and get to work. We help them recognize those outside forces that are going to try to suck their time away or to distract them from growing their garden. And when they perform those soil checks, the self-monitoring, like you mentioned, it just teaches them at a young age. I just did a soil check. Okay, I have to just say, I don't have time for that. I got to get to work.
Right, exactly. And then, it's all about making a choice. Like, because there may be some time when maybe they've been studying a lot, working hard, and all of that, because that's important to them, getting good grades and everything, and they need a break. They're making a choice that, okay, let me go look at this video, or let me check in with my friends and see what they're doing, maybe social media or the group text or something like that. They're making a conscious choice. I'm going to do that. They know why they're going to do that. They're going to get what they need and leave.
And they are in control.
Exactly.
They control their time use. They control who gets their attention and
Yes.
why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly it. It becomes, they are the driving force in that
Mm-hmm.
garden. They don't let things, like you mentioned earlier, I love that. You mentioned they don't let life happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
They are choosing what they're going to grow in their garden. They're getting the tools to do it. They're
Mm-hmm.
spending the time and the work.
Mm-hmm.
And when they need a break, because they need a break, they choose who gets their attention and when.
Yes, I mean, I think this would actually be a great young women's, young adults and beyond, because I think a lot of people struggle with that, particularly when it comes to technology.
Oh, it's so easy to get sucked in.
Yeah, it really is. So now I wonder, how do parents figure into all of this? For girls that are in your program, what are parents doing? How are they supporting?
They love it, and it's really, really sweet. We've had some really tender moments with some parents who have just been so grateful, and it's humbling because it just warms our hearts, because like, oh, it's working. Like what we wanted to provide for these girls, knowing as mothers alone, like I know that's why Becky and Allie just jumped on it with me, is we see it. I have 6 kids. Becky has 7. Allie has 4. We see what the world offers, and the pull and the temptations that are out there to waste time, to waste resources, to waste your talents, and to waste your days away. And then what the results of feeling is that. So the parents, it's very tender when parents come and are just so grateful to have a resource. And as far as the parents' involvement, it can be what they want it to be. We've had lots of adults that are like, I love watching the episodes. I'm learning things. We have some parents that do it hand in hand. It's their special time together with their daughter. They go in and they watch the episode together, and it sparks amazing conversation. We have other parents who don't feel like they can do quite that with them, but they gift it to the girl, and the girl jumps on it and does it on her own time. And we are in communication with the parent, because the parents who are the one who signed up and who we communicate with about the monthly How's It Growing parties that we host. And so it's a very safe place. The child is not alone in navigating. The parent can be as involved, oversee it, can be involved right there with it, or the child can navigate themselves, but it's a very safe platform. So when they log in, all the videos, all the content, it never bumps them to other search engines or other media out there. It's very private. It's very safe. And so parents are grateful, and they love it too.
What were you going to say, Becky?
We're basically backup for the parents. That's kind of what we say. And we've even had parents reach out to us about certain situations that their daughter was struggling with, and we're like, okay, perfect. We'll bring that into the, in a safe way, we'll bring that into this discussion next month, or we definitely are here to help the parents. And we love it. We love it when they interact with the girls and when they watch with the girls, because the learning in the home is huge. And if the girls watch something, or they're trying to learn how to create a routine or how to establish healthy habits, it definitely is something that we would love the parents help, and the parents want us helping. It's like, we're the team. We're a team here to help these parents accomplish what they want to do.
And so that was a great anecdote that you shared with us about the girl at the movie theater and all of that. I'm wondering, in terms of your program's impact, what are you hearing from some of the girls that maybe because this program has been in effect for 4 years, but those that may have gone on to the teen years, do you ever hear anything from them about what impact having been in that program has made in their lives.
We do. And it was so awesome. So 2 months ago at our How's It Growing Zoom call with all of our current girls, we invited some of our alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in high school. So one of them, I think the oldest one's a junior or senior now. And so we had about 8 of them there with our big group of girls. And what was so wonderful and fulfilling was they were basically just sharing their belief and their know-how, like they have experienced it. So for example, in one of our study skills episodes, we talk about how school is the girl's full-time job. And that besides her family, that needs to be her focus because that will open the windows of opportunity. But how do you excel in school? Like, what are some tips that help you on that path? And one of them was make sure to thank your teachers after every period in middle school. You know, when you go in and you say, hello, Mrs. Smith. And at the end you say, thanks, Mrs. Smith. Have a great day. You do that every day. And that teacher starts to know who you are, notice the cheerfulness, you're bringing in sunshine to the classroom and wants to help and feels the love. And there's a relationship forming. So we had one of our alumni girls say, girls, that really works.
I know, she's like, do it. Everybody do it. It was so cute.
It was so cute. And then one of our girls that's in the program says, it does really work. I started doing that this year and I've just been in I Believe in Me for 2 months. And I say hi to my teacher and I thank my teacher and she helps me so much. I've gotten so much better in math because she, you know, like the teacher's invested in a child that acts like they want to learn. And so just that one little tip in that one study skills episode, that comes full circle. And she's like, I use it all the time in high school. I do it with every teacher, every period. I always say something because that the teacher just becomes like one of my cheerleaders and helps me. And when I get in a bind and I've forgotten something at home, I get that teacher gives me a little break and I'm able to bring it right back in. And like that teacher's just on my side and they feel supported.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you think about teachers, each period, there's the sea of faces, 20, depending on the class, up to 20 people, and they're human. They're going to notice people that do that. And it's not that they're going to, treat them as their favorites, but they're going to remember them. And so when they see something, like when they see a pattern with their grades or maybe turning in homework assignments that's different, they're going to know they should maybe say something to that child because they know that child is invested, as you said, invested in their education, invested in doing well. And it's because of that relationship that's forming. And it's just, we're social beings. So teachers are going to definitely respond to that.
We'll be right back after this. Are you a parent looking to unlock your potential in raising confident, capable, and courageous children? Well, look no further. Join us at the upcoming Parent and Purpose Summit Back to School Edition, where parenting experts from around the world will come together to share their wisdom and insights. I'm Carol Maletta, founder of the Parenting 411. This summit is your opportunity to gain essential skills and tools to become the parent you've always aspired to be. Over 5 incredible days, we'll dive deep into topics like positive discipline, effective communication, mental health, self-care, school readiness, and more. An attendee from our last summit told us, "This summit changed my parenting game. I feel more confident and connected with my children than ever before." So secure your seat at the Parent and Purpose Summit today. Visit parentandpurposesummit2023.com. That's parentandpurposesummit2023.com. And click the registration button to join us on this transformative journey. The Parent and Purpose Summit, where intentional parenting begins. And we're back with the Parenting 411.
So it was just really neat to have the older girls say, do it.
Yeah.
It really works.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many other tools within that same episode. So it's been wonderful. It really does set a great foundation for these girls.
I'm going to share a really quick story just from our How's It Growing last night. We had our favorite things party last night. We had a group of girls there and it was so fun. one of our girls, she is away from home because she's having surgery. So she's in like a Ronald McDonald House type thing. And the first few surgeries haven't gone successfully. And so when she came onto the screen, we could tell she was still not in her bedroom at home.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, I have to have another surgery. I probably have to be here again through Christmas. She's been there through Thanksgiving. Like that was not the original plan.
Sure.
But some pin came out of her hip and she has to have another surgery. And in front of all of these girls, we expressed to her, we're like, oh, we're so sorry. That must be so hard. And she said, well, I'm just going to focus on my gratitude. And that's one of our things. We try to help these girls establish a gratitude practice every day. And here she is in the hardest situation that I've never even had to like encounter. And she taught all of us in that moment that gratitude tool is something that's helping her get through this really hard time. And I was actually just honored to be there. And I was like, wow, that is so true. Thank you for sharing that you are focusing on what you're grateful for right now. And all of those girls, you could see their faces. They were like, wow.
And just her commitment to the program, because she could have very easily said, I'm not going to sign in today because
I know
of where I am and how I'm feeling. So
and she came and then taught all of us.
Yeah.
And that comes full circle too, because another mom of another girl had reached out a couple months prior when this sweet girl, we knew all the girls that attend know what this girl was going through. And this other mom said, thank you so much, because that experience that girl shared, now our whole family has been really thinking about this sweet girl going through that. And they're a very prayerful, faithful family. We've been saying prayers for her. So to have my daughter be aware of someone else in need and to be able to give her heart and mind to that cause, she goes, just to think about someone else beside. It's very easy for these kids to get into just a selfish mindset. A woe is me. Everything's happening to me, a victim. It's huge in our society right now that you get this attention for being weak or a victim of something. And that's not what I believe in me. I believe in me is what can we do for others? Life isn't always going to be rainbows and unicorns. We know that. We talk about that a lot. But how can you cultivate that sunshine every day and have that gratitude, even in the really, really hard moments? And so these girls are learning from each other and boosting each other. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
It really is. Now, I wonder, over your experience with this program, what are you finding are just some of the biggest challenges and threats to our young girls' self-esteem, particularly tween girls?
Well, I kind of feel Katie can answer it also, but I feel like this is that time when they start looking to social media for their self-esteem or for reference of like what's cool or who should I look like or who should I be. And so what the world is throwing at these kids at this stage of their life is a lot. And I don't feel like they're equipped for some of the things that they might be exposed to if girls at this age have smartphones. We try to teach and tell the parents that, hey, delay the smartphones. You don't need to be on TikTok. You don't need to be on Instagram. You don't need to be worried about how many followers or how many likes. Like that's such a distraction at this time. It's distracting them from working in their own garden because they're placing their value on what someone else is telling them to do. So I feel like one of the biggest obstacles we see at this age is as they're trying to spread their wings and they're looking around for reference, the world is throwing all sorts of garbage in their way. And they've got to learn how to, push the distractions aside and focus on what they want to accomplish and be deliberate in their garden.
Yeah, I think this is the golden question, like what is the biggest challenge for these girls? And it goes along with what Becky said. One of our tools or the mantras that we talk about a lot, we obviously talk about the sunshine in the garden and it's very much a positive thing, but we also we recognize the temptations and the bad and the distractions and where they can lead and the darkness that they can bring. And 4 of those we talk about a lot are called the 4 C's. And it's very prevalent in girls. Don't compare, because that's very easy to get into the comparison game with social media and amongst friends. Like, I'm not as pretty as her. I can't do things as well as her, and that creates that automatic negative self-talk. Don't compare. Don't compete. We tell these girls, she's awesome, you're awesome, we can all be awesome at the same time. You don't have to put, you don't have to put someone else down to elevate yourself. In fact, that's not going to do it. It will just bring you down. So don't compare, don't compete, don't criticize, don't throw dirt at people. We call that throwing dirt, where you throw those mean comments out or tell someone that they're not good enough or just, and so don't criticize and don't complain, and like our sweet girl that was going through what she's going through, she could easily complain about her situation, but for her to have the courage to focus on the gratitude, that is a master gardener right there in the garden of life. And so those 4 C's want to drag these girls down. I think those are the biggest challenges: comparing, competing, complaining, and criticizing. And if we can combat that battle, that daily battle of those automatic negative thoughts of those 4 C's, if we can combat it with gratitude, if we can combat it with, wait, I have power over my time. I can choose where I spend my time. And I don't have time for that. To have that courage, with those soil checks, to recognize instantly when that critical thought, when that comparing thought like comes into your head, what to do. You shove that aside and you focus on your math assignment, because that's going to open the window for you. And that's where you should be spending your time. And then choosing, if I want to bring friends in, let's use those same tools to choose good friends. I don't like friends aren't ones that are going to criticize me all the time. That's not what a friend does. Like friends that tell me, compare with me and compete with me about what I'm wearing or my talents and gifts. That's not a true friend, so it helps them recognize those soil checks about. So I think the 4 C's are the major issue that girls today are facing.
Yeah, that's a great framework for describing that. Now, I wonder what's next for I Believe in Me. What kinds of plans do you have that you can share?
Well, we want to put our curriculum in tangible form. Right now it's online and the episodes they're funny. I mean, we do it in a really fun, playful way that will stick into their minds and hearts and create laughter, but also really sink those roots of nourishment down deep. But we're going to be putting it in a book form. So we're writing a book right now so that it's so you can obviously become a member and be part of the the sisterhood of I Believe in Me, or you can check us out in the future with the book and be able to create and cultivate that happy life, their garden of life, through the garden tools we provide.
Great. And so for those who are listening, who are interested in signing up for the program, how can they do that? And where can they learn more about the program and just follow you on an ongoing basis?
It's really very simple. If they want to follow kind of our journey and see some of our mantras like on a daily basis, we do have an Instagram, which is I Believe in Me Girls. And it's so fun. It's full of uplifting, positive mantras and mindsets, and where we share all of that. And then the program you can find, it's very simple. It's bloomfully.com. Think of like a garden, bloom fully, right? That's what we want to accomplish, is to help every girl bloom fully. So bloomfully.com. And when you go there, you will see both age groups. You'll see Singers Company, which is the singing and dancing for elementary age girls. And then I Believe in Me, which is the middle school age and beyond, which is what we've talked about today, and it's all very self-explanatory. It talks about the program and the different options if they want to become a member. And we hope that parents will come check us out, because we want to bring in all the beautiful flowers into our garden, and the more the better. The more diversity, the better. That's one of my favorite things about a garden, is when you look at the different flowers, they're all beautiful, and we can all recognize each individual beautiful flower, and that we don't need to compete to be like the flower next to us. And the more that we have in that garden, the more beautiful it can be.
I love it. I love it. I'm wishing I had something like that when I was growing up. And I was a Girl Scout, and I certainly did enjoy that, and had a great neighborhood of friends, girlfriends, and all of that. So that was great. But this would have really been the icing on the cake, because I think it really would have made me feel more empowered about how I was living my life earlier on. I think that's really a valuable mindset for children to have. I mean, because very often we feel like, the parents know everything. We're younger, we're smaller, and we just have to do what everybody tells us. And there's not a lot of space for talking about what we're really interested in, and how we feel about things. So this really does let them know that adults are listening, and that they do have something inside of them, even at a young age, that they can contribute, and that they're shining even at that early age. So I really like it. And I hope that our listeners will head on over to bloomfully.com, learn as much as they can about this, and sign up their girls' friends, so that you can really start a revolution. I think this is just what girls need. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Parenting 411. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and over at YouTube. If you're listening now, but you want to come back and maybe watch it on YouTube, head on over there to do that. And in all places, like, subscribe, and share this episode for sure with your friends. And as always, remember that it's never too late to be the parent that you want to be. So thank you, and I will see you next time.